Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Zafar and this video is part of a series I'm making on JavaScript. And in this video we're going to learn how to do input and output. So how to ask information from the user and how to display information to the user. So I know we didn't talk about functions yet. So if you're already familiar with functions, that's great. If you're not familiar with functions, that's fine. In the future videos, we're going to talk a lot about functions because they are a big topic, but just bear with me in this video. So we've seen, operators, we've seen data types like numbers and, operations and strings and objects and arrays, but how do you ask, right? How do you ask the user to input some information, right? So we actually have a prompt, right, in the console. So it's just prompt with the parentheses. And inside, I can put like a question or a message. So I can say, for example, what is your name? And I hit enter and notice that there's a prompt that opens up in the browser. So all that is done for you by the browser. So you don't have to like worry about exactly how it works or like that's the browser's job. So I can say, for example, my name is Zafar. And I hit enter and notice, so we got the response or what the user typed in the console. So that's because the prompt, right, returns that value. And notice it's a string, right? So notice that the prompt takes in a string, that's the message or the question, and it returns the answer, and that also is a string, and it's the string of characters that the user types. So I can capture that, right? So now I lost the value that the user typed, which is my name is Zafar. I can capture it in a let. If you remember, we used the let keyword to create new variables. So I'm going to say let answer equals, and here's a new prompt. And I put the parentheses. And inside, I can type in a string like, how old are you? And I'm going to hit enter. So the prompt opens, and it says, how old are you? And I can say 22. And I hit OK. So now I captured the value, but it's a string, right? We put the number 22, but the prompt function gave us back a string. So we're not going to talk about casting in this video. We're going to leave it for a future video to keep the video in scope. But so prompt allows us to ask the user for some information, and you can capture that with an assignment statement. So, obviously prompt is not like, it's not the best way to get information from users just because it's too distracting and, the browser kind of freezes momentarily while the prompt is there on the screen. But sometimes you may see that, older websites or web applications use this prompt. But it's not like learning how to use the prompt is useless, right? Because we learned the concept of, asking the user for information, doing something with it or processing that, and then outputting something. So everything you learn in programming is definitely valuable and carries on. So let's see how I print something or how I output something to the console. So I can do console. Now, if you remember, we talked about objects, right? So console, as it turns out, is an object provided for you by the browser, right? So we don't do, it's always there. We don't do anything special. So we get this for free. And it has the log function. So remember, we talked about the dot syntax is how we access properties that are attached to the object. So log is a function that's attached to console, and I can put anything between these parentheses to log it out. So I can pass in a string like I am Zafar, right? And I hit enter, and notice it gets logged out to the console. I can also pass it pretty much anything. I can pass it like 32, and then it shows me 32 in the console. I can do console.log, maybe like an array, 1, 2, 3. And now we have this array of 1, 2, 3. So you can pass anything to the console.log, and it will log it to the console. So now let's combine the two, right? We've seen how we ask the user for some information, and we've seen how to output that information to the console. So let's combine the two. So I'm going to do let favorite color, or just fav color, equals. So I'm going to do a prompt. And remember, so the prompt takes in a message. So I can say, what is your favorite color? So this will open up a prompt, and whatever I type in here will be captured in the favorite color variable. So I'm going to say white, for example. And notice now I'm going to do a console.log, and then I'll do fav color, right? So now it says white. So in this video, we've seen the basics of input and output through the browser using JavaScript. And in the next video, we're going to talk about functions, which are definitely a very exciting topic. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and don't forget to like and subscribe for new videos every day.